I bought this thing years ago. Apparently, it sends small electrodes through the mask. It then causes the mask to activate, and your skin looks better, younger. I don't know. I saw it in a Vogue. I was susceptible because they said that all the girls were doing it before Paris Fashion Week, and so now I own this thing. I don't know if it actually works. And I look ridiculous. Okay, the serum is still absorbing, but what do we think? Did it accomplish its goal? I don't know. I haven't used it in a while, so maybe I need to use it more. Or maybe it's just all fake marketing that I was convinced to buy because I was, I had a job that I hated. Good morning. I just want to start off this week's vlog with a huge thank you to everyone who has joined this community and joined me on this fun little journey. For years, I basically did not give myself the permission to start something like this, to do something fun and creative, because I was supposedly doing, I was following the path. I was doing what you're supposed to do. I was doing all of those things. And yet in reality, I was miserable. And I literally wasn't even allowed to say I was miserable. I remember once, I was with my mom and some of her friends, and I was talking about, they were like, oh, you're a lawyer, blah, 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 blah. They're all gushing, right? And I was like, yeah, but I hate it. I really, really hate it. A lot. And then the looks on their face. And then my mom jumps in and goes, well, it's not that she hates it. She just doesn't like how she's practicing right now. And she wants to practice in a different environment. And I was like, no. I hate it. I really hate it. And when we left, my mom scolded me. She's like, you do not say that you hate practicing law. You need to tell people that, you don't like how you're practicing it now, but that, don't tell people that you hate it. That's just so negative and it makes you look so bad. And I was like, but it's true. And anytime I would say, oh, I want to do something creative, I just want to leave the practice of law. Well, you don't really want to leave the practice of law now, do you? That's not what you really want. Being creative, you're a lawyer, doing something creative, you can find creative, maybe you can be an attorney for creatives, and that will, and I was like, no, I want to be the creative. And part of what made me so happy to move to France was that, one, I couldn't practice law here. I mean, in retrospect, I've learned I can because I've been practicing so long, but couldn't practice law here. But second thing was I could do the creative things that I'd kind of always been wanting to do, and I could do them kind of in secret. So nobody, my family, my friends, all of those people who couldn't understand why I wasn't happy, doing that very set schedule that made all of them very happy. I could do that. I could do that here in quiet and secret. And, if people found out, they found out, but no one could pop into my apartment, or I didn't have to worry about seeing someone for lunch and explaining my life choices anymore. So I am honored that you are here, that you're part of this journey. I'm happy that, hopefully I get to encourage some other people to go out and do something that you really wanted to do, have some fun. And yes, I'm grateful, and I hope you enjoy, and keep leaving your comments in the comments. I read every single one. I work to respond to every single one. I'm a little slow sometimes, I'm sorry, but I'm doing bmy best. I try to be fast, but it's summer, and when it's winter, I won't be leaving my house, so I will respond to your comments immediately, but it's actually warm. But yes, so thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying, and I hope you enjoy this vlog. It is been a fun week in Paris. I've kept it pretty chill and have opted for zero structure, which I really like, having these like a week where I have lots of structure and alternating it with a week where I have just like, I'm doing what I'm doing. Anyway, thank you for joining. Let's have some fun. And I hope you enjoy this week's vlog. So it is the sold period, as I have kind of discussed before. So let me give you just a download. If you haven't seen any like of the other videos where I've talked about the solds, I talked about it in a video on how to get your luxury on sale, but I'll give you like a little synopsis right here. So essentially, the solds are a period of time where everything goes on sale in France. Even luxury goes on sale. So during the solds periods is a really great time to stock up on just items, like just stuff that you would like, stuff that's missing in your wardrobe, that sort of thing. So during prior years, so like during COVID, right after, we kind of came out of the first lockdown and everything, and they did those solds, and they did the solds for kind of like 2 years after that. The discounts were insane, because the purpose of the solds is to get rid of old stock so that you can bring in new stock. So you could just get phenomenal discounts, and everything was on sale. Everything was on sale, and it was just crazy how discounted things were. So as a result, I actually did a lot of my shopping, during those early years, during those solds. And so as a result, I got just really crazy discounts on items. And I was able, as a result, to be able to get discounts on items that kind of fit like what my new personal style was becoming post, law firm, corporate, girly, whatever. So, as a result, I don't really shop the solds that much anymore. I mean, I use it to maybe stock up on things like underwear and tights, but not too many clothes, because I bought a lot of the things that I loved. However, this year's solds, I did see a few items that I was really into, and there are just a few little gaps in my wardrobe, and I did try to use the solds to fill them this year. So I'm going to show you everything. I'll try them on really quickly. I'll be quick about it. So let me show you what I got during the solds. Okay, this is the first item. I got this Zimmerman corset. I've really been wanting a Zimmerman piece, and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I really can't justify paying like what they want for these dresses. The dresses are so expensive. So I actually ended up deciding to invest in a corset, because I can wear this during the summer, I can wear it during the winter. I thought it was just a more versatile piece for my wardrobe. I can wear it with a skirt, I can wear it with a slip dress, I can wear it with denim. So yes, we got this. So the next piece I got was this Brunello Cucinelli knitwear, like sweater top. I really am so particular about knitwear. I do not buy a lot of knitwear, so if I see something I like, I tend to buy it. And I really, really like this. And I have been stalking this for actually a really long time. So I was really excited to be able to get it on sale. And I got this for 30% off. I also got the Zimmerman corset. I got it for 30% off. And I got this for 30% off as well. So yeah, there's that. As I mentioned, I am not a huge knitwear person, but I did see a lot of knitwear during the sales that I really liked, and this is another one. It's really cool. It has these sequins in it. I don't know if you can see it, but this is also Brunello Cucinelli, and I, again, got this one, I believe, actually for 40% off. So, yeah. So this I really, really wanted, and I'm so excited. I really love it because Sonia Reichel she's known for knitwear. And I saw this piece, if you saw like in my video where I did kind of talking about, you know, what to buy, what I invest in, that sort of thing, I featured this sweater and I was like, I love this sweater, but it wasn't on sale. And I was like, I bet it's going to be on sale during the solds in a week, so I'm going to wait. I'm glad I waited because it was. I got it for 30% off, and, you know, I really, really like it. I like the style, I like the fit, I love everything about it. So this is... yeah, it's just perfect to me. So I'm very, very excited about this purchase. So I actually can't believe I even made this purchase. This item is from The Row, okay? It's from The Row. And it was 80% off. So it was originally like 1,800 euros or something, and I got it for like 230 or something like that. So this is super cool. This is cute. Like, it has these, like, you can't quite see it, but it has these long kind of things, and it's really long in the back, and the side is open. So it's just, oh, I love it. Can you see it? Let me move back. There you go. Can you see that? There. There, you can probably see it better now. Can you see? Right? Like, just love. Just love. Just love. Look at this top. Look at it. Look at this. I'm covering up, like, I have some scars, so I'm covering them up a bit. So yeah, so this, look at, was so much fun. It's like this cape. I didn't zip it all the way in the back, but it's this super cute, like, leather cape, and I just thought it was so fun, and it has these cool little, like, things going down. So yeah, I just thought this was really fun, and so I had to have it. I already know at least 4 ways that I can wear this, so I am pumped. Alright, so just a couple more things to show you. So I got this dress. It's a shoot, I didn't tell you how much I got off. Oh, on the thing, on the, like, the leather cool cape thingy, I got 40% off of that. Okay, so this dress is Toteme. I got this for 30% off, I think. Either 30 or 40% off. And here it is. I mean, to me, it's like this fun back, and then you have this really fun front is what I liked about it. Whew. I'm in the dress, you all. So this dress is by the brand Aje, A-J-E. I found it on sale at BHV, 40% off. Black, as you can see, it just has this cute little, like, crescent moon, like, right here, which I think is super cute. And I just like the fit. I like the feel. It's a knitted dress. It's heavy. I don't really know if it will work for summer because personally I feel like it's a little bit heavy. Now, one last thing. And this is the purchase I have been wanting all year long. So this made me really, really happy. So let's do this. I have been wanting a hat just like this all year. A straw white hat with a really big brim that'll protect me from the sun, but I can still wear with my little dresses, and I'll look super cute and super chic and all of those good things. So I found it at Maison Michel, and so I got it. In case you don't know, Maison Michel is owned by the House of Chanel. So basically, if you buy one of their hats, you're essentially buying a Chanel hat, because they make the hats for Chanel. So you're able to get the hat, but without, you know, the markup. So yeah, so I'm excited. I got this for, I believe it was 40% off as well. I believe it was either 30 or 40% off. So yeah. Well, there you have it. That is my Solds haul. I will definitely be linking to all of the items, and definitely let me know like what your thoughts are. I'm particularly happy about the hat. I can't wait to wear the hat. For this week's vlog, I'm really going to give some context as to what is happening right now in France and everything that's kind of going on. So, about a week ago, a police officer shot and killed a 17-year-old boy. Now, and this happened in one of the suburbs of Paris. Now, there are a few things that I want to kind of note about this situation and what's happening right now in France as a result of it, because I know that there are people who are very, very curious about it. Number one, first and foremost, there are two realities with respect to the situation that exist at the same time. And I think that a lot of the discussion right now has failed to acknowledge that those two realities can exist at the same time. The first reality is this. The 17-year-old was in the process of committing a crime when he was shot, okay? And here's why I say that. It is not legal to be driving unless you are 18 years old. He didn't have a right to rent the car because he was driving in a rented car, so he didn't have a right to be in that car. And also during his initial interaction with the police before he drove away and then they kind of caught up with him again, he was trying to get away from the police and almost ran over multiple people. So that is a reality of exactly what this kid was doing at the time everything happened. And, you know, when it all comes down to it, so like he was in the midst of committing crime. Okay. The second reality is this. In France, there are very, very high standards for a police officer to use their gun. Much higher standards than in the US. And that standard is essentially that the officer's life was in danger. And unlike the US, where there are all sorts of kind of flexibility as to what that is, in France, they outline exactly kind of what the situation and conditions, like exact situation that must be present in order for an officer to be able to use force. And one of those situations is that the officer's life is in direct and immediate danger. That also is not true. The officer said that, but then there's a video and it shows that that was not true. And when we say the officer's life was in direct and immediate danger, I mean like the car was speeding towards him and he didn't have a chance to jump out of the way. The kid pointed a gun at him and it was like in an instant, you shoot or I shoot. Like this is what I mean by it has to be like immediate. It can't be like, oh, I think it might happen, which I think is kind of like the standard in the US is a little bit more loosey-goosey, whereas in France it's very much do. So those are the two realities that can exist at the same time, okay? And I think that a lot of times people kind of have to, you know, they're like, oh, we have to choose, it's this or that, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, those two realities exist at the same time. Personally, my personal feelings are this. I have a lot of family members who are police officers. My cousin's husband actually was once shot in the line of duty and almost died. It was very severe. It took him a year, you know, to really recover. So I know what police officers go through on their job. I know you have to make split-second decisions. I know that. I understand that. You know, my dad was in the military. I understand a lot of these things. That being said, I have a strong value of human life, and I personally just really think we need to get out of this kind of path we're on where we shoot first and we ask questions later. I was reading a story in the New York Times about a woman who was taking an Uber in Texas, and she saw signs for a border town and assumed the Uber driver was taking her to a border town and was going to kidnap her. And so she shot him. She shot that poor man in the back of his head twice. Didn't call the police. First thing she did was text her boyfriend a photo, and then afterwards call the police. This whole shoot first, ask question later. I'm sorry. It's just personally for me, I think we need to stop. I think we need to rein it in. I think we need to stop, placing these split-second values and determinations and assumptions and whatever on human life, and just stop. So from my perspective, like, the kid didn't deserve to die. Was the kid committing a crime? Yes. But like, really? We're killing people like over traffic stops? Come on. They're like pedophiles. There are really bad people in this world doing really horrible things. Like, let's have some perspective. So yeah. Now, aside from all that, let's also talk about what is happening as a result. So as a result of this kid being killed, people have started to protest, okay? The French love to protest. The French protest better than anyone, y'all. It is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. They will burn things. They will burn things. They will burn cop cars. They will burn stuff. They will take stuff. They will do things that I didn't even know you could do. These people love a good protest. It is a cultural thing, right? It's in their culture. So protesting is a French way of life. So as a result, like, you just get like, you gotta get like a little bit, like, I'm not gonna say desensitized, but you just kind of like, you sit as an American, you sit back and you're like, wow, these people know how to protest. This is interesting. The French started to protest, okay? But there are a couple differences between kind of what is happening and some of like what's leading to all this. People who are African and the people who are Muslim face a substantial amount of discrimination in French culture. And the thing is, unfortunately, the people who are killed by the police, who are kind of routinely mistreated within this society are those people. And so they're very angry. So when this kid was killed, of course, the people are angry. They're frustrated. They feel like they're always under attack, and that this is just, another part of the, the cycle. And then, of course, they start releasing all this stuff about how the kid is actually, he was a criminal and he was doing things. And so that just only makes people more upset. Okay. So as a result, it sparked protesting, particularly in the areas and the neighborhoods where a lot of these populations, live, because they feel they feel like this is just yet another kind of attack on them. A lot of where all of this happened with the kid, it happened in a suburb of Paris. It happens in a place, it's very far actually from Paris. It's like a 30-minute ride on the RER. So it's not like within Paris. So there have been lots of protests in communities that are primarily of African descent and primarily of Muslim descent because of what has happened. Now, something that has happened that has made the situation even worse, and it's part of the reason why I think it's really viewed, it's really kind of blowing up in a way, is because someone issued a call for émeute. Émeute. Émeute is the word for essentially rioting and looting, okay? Now, during the protests for the retrait, for the retirement, you know, that started when Macron kind of pushed things through, and that was happening, you know, during, you know, April, May, etc. During that, you didn't have rioting and looting. You had lots of protesting. Protesting includes burning things, right? I mean, there were piles of trash, so they had things to set on fire, right? This is France, darling. It included that, but it didn't include the destruction of other people's businesses, okay? So it didn't include breaking down the glass of shops so that you could get in and loot things and take things out and steal. In fact, I saw a video once of some guy who did that, who broke the window of this woman's shop. People tried to stop him from breaking the window, and then when they couldn't, they tried to restrain him for the police to come. And then people were standing there trying to like help this woman because she was just so upset, right? Like her window had been broken. That's what I mean when I say that like there's protesting and then there's rioting and looting. And protesting is, from my personal experience, that's what I've seen here. We have not seen things like rioting and looting, okay? And that has led to kind of the city of Paris having to take some pretty extreme measures. It's led them to impose things like curfews, buses and tramways, which are what are often used to get people, you know, from the suburbs into Paris. And they are stopping those, right? Like after a certain hour, after 9 o'clock, they're no longer working outside of in or outside of Paris in an effort to like keep people from coming into Paris, because they're trying to stop people in the burbs from coming into Paris and basically rioting and looting in Paris. They're trying to stop it in the suburbs as well, but they're also trying to kind of stop it from moving into the you know, the immediate arrondissements of Paris. Now there are some arrondissements that border, you know, suburbs that are primarily African, that are primarily Muslim, and those arrondissements have experienced some, keyword some, you know, rioting and looting and destruction and whatnot, but not nearly as much as what you're seeing in the suburbs and in other places. And that is really kind of what's making this situation, I would say, much different, much more. That's why I say this situation is quite a bit different than, you know, the retirement, because that really was protesting. There wasn't, people would get crazy at night and they would burn things, but there wasn't rioting and looting. Right now we're dealing with rioting and looting, and to me that is a disrespect of the kids' memory. I'm sorry. I think there's something wrong with people using the death of a child to justify stealing from Louis Vuitton. I get you. We all have social qualms. We all have our hang-ups and whatnot, but 2 + 2 does not equal 7, right? Like, it just doesn't. So that's one of the things that's happening, and it's causing a bit of consternation, and it's really leading the city to do some pretty, taking kind of more and more intense steps in order to kind of quell down on this. So yes, that's a lot. I know that I have kind of thrown a lot at you, but I do want to note, for those of you who are coming to Paris, if you are coming to Paris, you're staying in the center of Paris, you know, the craziest stuff, as I mentioned, has been happening in the suburbs so far away from Paris, so you don't need to really worry. I feel perfectly safe and fine walking around Paris. I went to Chateau d'Eau, which late at night, I was up there having pizza with a friend. You know, I had to come in from the Eurostar last week, so I came in at Gare du Nord, and I took the train back to my house. Like it was fine. Like I'm not feeling unsafe. But if you plan to stay kind of in the suburbs, you should really kind of evaluate exactly like where you're going to be, because there are some where things are a bit crazier than others. I would also just want to note that these issues are complex. Societies are complex. People are complex. There is a lot that is going on. There's a lot that's happening. I would ask that, we all just stay respectful in the comments when commenting. Because yeah, I just think I really don't want to create an environment or a community where we're like going after each other. I want there to be respectful dialogue, and I would like us to be able to be open and honest, right? Like we can be honest and respectful, right? Like there are people who are hurting, and we can respect that. There are people, someone lost their life. Like at the bare minimum, let's all acknowledge that all human life is valuable, right? And let's honor that. So please, I ask that you stay respectful in the comments. And I hope that this has been helpful in providing you with some context as to what is happening right now and about what the environment feels like. As I said, I feel fine. I'm in the middle of Paris. One thing also to note is that there are, protests that happen during the day. Those are noted on the Sortira Paris website. You have to disclose, like if you're going to have like a protest march, you have to like disclose the route. So that is disclosed in advance, and you can find that out on the Sortira Paris website, and I'll link to that in the video description. All right, well, hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope that has answered some of your questions and given you some sense of exactly what is happening right now in Paris. Feel free to let me know any of your thoughts or comments. Stay safe as always, and I'll talk to you again soon.